Hello and welcome to the session dedicated to 2020 European PropTech, 30 countries in numbers, an unprecedented report covering PropTech in all 30 countries in Europe. The reason underpinning the release of this thorough research is to see clearly with a plain eye, upon zooming out, how Europe stands out on the global PropTech map as a continent, and upon zooming in, what the PropTech profile of 30 European countries is. The report is based on 3,323 European PropTechs, or 79% of the overall number of PropTech companies in Europe, which by 1st of January 2020 is 4,161. We made an update on 8th of March 2020 based on an increased number. The increase is with 294 companies. That is, the cumulative number becomes 3,617 PropTechs, which equal 83% of the overall number of European PropTechs, which becomes 4,355. All figures you see below are based on the updated cumulative numbers. PropTech Bulgaria's team has been working on this report since June 2021. That is nearly an year. We undertook this tremendous analysis when we tried to figure out how Europe and its different regions are being positioned on international level in PropTech. And we found no information in one place which explicitly and clearly displays the big picture, particularly the number of PropTech companies in different geographical regions. Which are the most dominant continents in PropTech based on the number of generated tech solutions, how different European regions differ when compared to each other, and most importantly, what the position of Central and Southeast Europe is. However, we have been building our database with European PropTech companies for more than 4 years now. So it has been a really long road till now. We have been tracking more than 20 sources of information continually. All PropTech companies from all 30 European countries have been checked and analyzed one by one by the authors of this report. Low-tech countries with no PropTech solutions are not included, but low-tech countries with few PropTechs are included in the report. In the presentation on Bulgaria, we classify all 30 countries in 4 categories depending on their PropTech development, and you can refer to this presentation for the information. This secures the uncompromisingly high and pure quality of this report, analysis, graphs, and conclusions. The report contains a PropTech profile for each of the 30 European countries arranged in an alphabetical order. PropTechs are assigned to their country of origin, not to the country they have some legal entities settled as a result from the fact that they have got external funding from that country. The profile format is unified, thus making it easy for anyone to get an idea about the country and compare countries as well as the 6 European geographic regions, the CSEE, DACH, Nordics, South Europe, Benelux, and France, and UK, and Ireland. This report is built on the understanding that each country has its own specific PropTech profile, thus making it strong in some areas, depicting the free market niches, showcasing the outstanding PropTech solutions and types of PropTech solutions that one can find in the respective country. We believe that such information will facilitate tremendously the cross-border business development opportunities for PropTechs in Europe. On this map, you see how different continents compare to each other. Europe is the most tech-developed continent in the world, and this holds also true in PropTech. It is the origin continent for 50% of global PropTechs. Second comes North America with 26%, and third is Asia, Middle East, and Asia Pacific with only 13% of all PropTechs worldwide. These calculations are based on 30 countries in Europe, plus 26 countries in Asia, Middle East, and Asia Pacific, 15 countries in South America, 3 countries in North America, 30 countries in Africa, plus Australia and New Zealand. As you can see, Europe has 4,355 PropTechs, North America 2,291, Asia, Middle East, and Asia Pacific 1,109, Central and South America 426, Australia 362, and Africa 160 PropTechs. The total number of PropTechs globally is 8,697 companies. GLL, in a recent report of theirs issued in August 2021, stated that the global number of PropTechs is close to 8,000, which comes of no surprise given what we have already mentioned as figures in our mind. However, this is a very pure number. We know about other calculations which state that the global number is 10,000. However, there are many unchecked companies in this number. About the generation of some of our figures, we give special thanks to CSEE PropTech and PropTech Africa for assisting us with information on Africa, and to Boris Andrich, Catalyst Bit, for being one of our 3 sources of information on Croatia, Serbia, and Slovenia. We are sure that if adding the actual numbers of countries like Russia and some AC countries, the global number will be close to 9,500. We have not reviewed the PropTech companies in all other continents. What does it mean? That we, as mentioned previously, have checked each and every one of the European PropTech companies. However, we haven't done this for the companies on the other continents. Hence, there is a high risk to have many doubles there, or dead companies or companies which are not PropTech, while the list of European companies is very pure. Nevertheless, we have decided to display the position of Europe in the global setting, and it is even more under these assumptions evident that Europe is far ahead before any of the other continents. On this map, number of PropTech companies, European level per regions, you see that the relative maturity in PropTech in each of the 6 geographic regions, DACH, Benelux and France, Eastern Europe, the Nordics, the UK, and South Europe. And the map gives proof of a most clear fact. All geographic regions in Europe are extremely strong in PropTech. Though their numbers are very close to each other, we can arrange them as follows. The DACH region has 860 PropTechs. France and Benelux, 846. UK and Ireland, 755. The SE countries, 601. The Nordics, 584. South Europe, 515. As you can see on the next map, number of PropTech companies, European level per countries, there is information about the number of PropTech companies in 30 out of 34 European countries, that is 88% of all European countries, are depicted on the map. All countries on this European continent included, not only those part of the EU, the European Union. This is the input data to calculate how each of the European regions stands. The graph you see clearly displays that design and build and live and work life cycle stages quickly close down the gap with the most developed market and transact and manage and operate life cycle stages. Invest and finance still remains very underdeveloped. However, more and more PropTechs cover more than one life cycle stage, which outlines them as highly competitive. This is a recognized fact that different types of PropTechs develop differently. It is a rule of thumb, for example, that the first PropTechs established in any country are market and transact and serve the residential asset class. Next, depending on the country industry profiling, the country generates solutions in any of the other life cycle stages. For example, Germany is one of the best in contact, that is design and build life cycle stage. Bulgaria has the most live and work solutions in Europe. Switzerland has many invest and finance solutions, just like the UK. We see this clearly exhibited in the graphs below. When we talk about quantity, then this is how the best European countries in PropTech rank. These are the countries with the highest number of PropTechs purified alongside the report methodology and based on 3,617 European PropTechs, which, as I said, equal 83% of all European PropTechs. The strongest are the UK, Germany, France, and Spain. Next comes the Netherlands, Sweden, and Bulgaria with very close cumulative numbers. Let's start with the life cycle stages and look at the figures for each of the 5 of them. On this graph, you see the results for invest and finance PropTechs. These are solutions such as tenant solvency checks, financial simulators, mortgage evaluations, investment platforms, appraisals, and different types of evaluations. The results are that the strongest countries are firstly the UK, followed by Switzerland, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. The result is not surprising, having in mind that some of these countries are financial centers, and others, like the case of Spain, have extremely difficult access to residential debt funding for people below 35 years of age. Thus, there are numbers of PropTechs which provide solutions to this challenge. Hence, the overall number for invest and finance PropTechs is being increased. This graph displays the situation on the ConTech, or design and build lifecycle stage. Construction technologies, this is what we mean with ConTech. And the ranking of countries is France, the Netherlands, Germany, Finland, UK, Switzerland, and Bulgaria. The third life cycle stage is market and transact. Example of such solutions are digital rental and contract management, home auctions, appraisal platforms, virtual agents, visualization of properties. And the ranking of countries are the UK, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Bulgaria, and Switzerland. The fourth life cycle stage is manage and operate. It includes solutions like facility management solutions, property management solutions, parking tax solutions, tenant management solutions. And the top 4 countries are the UK, France, Sweden, and the Netherlands. And the last 5th life cycle stage, live and work, includes all smart cities, smart building, and smart home solutions. There are top 5 countries in this category, and these are Bulgaria, which is very far ahead any of the other 4, followed by France, Sweden, Finland, and the Netherlands. We also have detected and decided to select more complicated PropTechs in a separate category, having in mind that these are highly competitive and difficult to replicate. The result is as follows. We have top 5 countries. Firstly, UK, second, Finland, third, Sweden, 4th, France, and 5th, the Netherlands. When we talk about PropTechs per different asset classes, on this graph, you see which are the countries that generate the most PropTechs serving the residential asset class. As mentioned, as a rule of thumb, the first PropTechs in any country which are established serve the residential asset class. There's no exception. However, there are 6 countries with the most solutions providing services to this asset class, and these are the UK, France, Spain, Germany, Bulgaria, and Switzerland. When we talk about commercial asset class, that is solutions that serve offices, hotels, then the countries which develop the best solutions here and the most are the Netherlands, UK, France, Sweden, Germany, and Switzerland. Due to COVID-19, more and more property developers who have been profiled in the commercial asset class have found out that they must enter the residential asset class too, based on the hybrid workplace study trends. This is why we decided to differentiate these solutions from all the others, and hence we formed another category, which is solutions that serve both residential and commercial. The result for countries with such solutions is as follows. Firstly, the UK, second, France, third, Sweden, fourth, Switzerland, fifth, Italy, and sixth, the Netherlands. And here's the ranking of countries. When we talk about smart city solutions, we see Bulgaria, Finland, the Netherlands, and France, as Bulgaria is far ahead of all other 3 countries. Let's see another very rare segment, retail tech. It's a well-known fact that PropTech solutions for the retail asset class are very rare. What's the situation there? The countries which generate the most such solutions are the UK, France, Spain, Finland, Sweden, Bulgaria, with an equal score to Sweden, and lastly, the Netherlands. And the final asset class that we will look at is PropTech solutions for the industrial. Such solutions are even rarer than the ones for retail. As the graph depicts, the European countries with the most such solutions are Bulgaria and Poland with an equal score, followed by France and Austria. And finally, this is the last slide for today, we have once again differentiated and set aside the PropTech solutions which serve all asset classes, as this is a distinctive competitive advantage of such solutions. Which are the countries with the most solutions of this kind? There are 9 countries, and we consider and show all of them since their results are very close to each other. So we start with Finland, next are the UK, France, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Bulgaria. We invite you to join us for the sessions which follow, when we will look at the niches of tech solutions for the real estate agencies, eco products and PropTechs, that is solutions for construction engineers, architects and designers, energy tech, and visualization segment, inclusive of VR, AR, 3D PropTechs. We will talk about how these are distributed across Europe and what the most widespread and outstanding unique selling propositions are. See you later.